And please welcome onto the stage a massive Carlton Town and Chasetow welcome for our very special guest, former Nottingham Forest goalkeeper and chief scout, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Alan Hill.
No.
Right, you're all right. You'll be all right. No, I think you'll be okay. 1, 2. 1, 2. Yeah, get it right up there. Right, just Alan. I'm basically gonna pretty much let Alan talk because he's got some fantastic stories. He worked under the legendary Brian Clough and Peter Taylor for many years. But I just wanted, before we start, Alan, I just wanted to ask you about your own personal situation. I'm sure it wouldn't happen nowadays, but I'm scared. You signed for Forest, I believe, in 1969, and your injury sadly brought a sad end to your career. I think you played 40-odd games for Forest. Was it a broken arm, Al?
I came in 1969 and played the last 10 games of the season. Following season started, and I played 30 games. Then one Saturday afternoon we played Everton, and the ball came into the box, and I went up with Joe. I was a goalkeeper, by the way. Went a bit and punched the ball and punched Joe Royal's head. Went over his head and landed with a dislocated elbow, and it came through. It broke in 4 places and came through the skin. So my arm was like that, and that was the end of my career as a player. And I went on the other side, scouting, coaching, everything to do with the management side of things, and I was at Forest for 30 years.
How did you meet Brian Clough? How did all that come about?
Oh dear. I was working at Derby at the time. Working at Derby at the time, and I got a phone call from the wife, and she said, "You'll never guess who's rang me." I said, "Who?" She said, "Brian Clough." And he seems ever such a nice man. And he wants to see you tonight at 6 o'clock at the Forest ground. I said, "What for?" She said, "I don't know, but I think you should go." So I went at 6 o'clock, Forest ground, in the main entrance, talking to a lad called John Sheridan, who was one of the coaches there. No sign of Cloughie. John says, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I don't know, John, he wants to see me, you're gaffer." Anyway, the door opens, out he comes, white shorts, green top, straight past me, spins round. "John, who's this young man?" "It's Alan Hill from Derby." "Oh, just the man. Very smartly dressed young man. I like that. John, take him down to the boardroom and get him pissed." And I'll be there in 5 minutes. An hour later, he comes in. "Now then, son, I want you to work for me." I said, "I'm under contract at Derby." He said, "I know you're under contract, but you're not worth the paper they're written on."
Then it's too loud outside. Keep talking, it'll turn you up, mate. Keep talking.
Keep going.
Go on, son.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. "Not worth the paper they're written on." I said, "Well, I think that I've got 2 years contract." He said, "How much do they pay you at Derby?" You'll be shocked when I tell you that. £25. As much as that, £25. "I'll give you 50. "Have you got a car?" "See, I've got my own car." "We'll give you a company car." "Will you pay your petrol?" "No, I'll pay your petrol." Flipping heck. "Will you pay your telephone?" "No, I'll pay your telephone." I says, "How long have I got to think about it?" He says, 5 minutes. He said, "Do you know where David Mackay is tonight?" I said, "I don't know." "Have you got his telephone number?" "Yes." So I get my diary out, smartly dressed diary, I like that. And Ken Smales, the secretary of the club, came in. "Kenneth, get me David Mackay on this telephone." So Ken rings the number. "David, it's Brian. I've just signed one of your coaches." And I'm going, no. "Yes, Alan Hill. He's going to do the youth development job, which he does for you, but he'll do it better for me." "Yes, David, I know he's under contract. Yes, David, remember Tottenham. And put the phone down. He said, right son, you're working for me, start it tomorrow. And I did go back. And one of the things he said to me, look, listen, learn, and ask questions. This is Clifford to me. I waited 2 weeks, shit myself, knocked on the door. I said, come a word, boss. He said, yeah, what do you want? Formations, what formation do you want them to play, the youth teams? Formations? Don't talk to me about bloody formations. There's only one formation in this football club. That's 4-4-2, nothing else. Get that in your thick skull. 4-4-2. All right. What about coaching? Coaching? Fucking coaching, excuse me swearing. Don't talk to me about coaching. I said, well, you told me to ask questions. Well, go on then, once and once only. This is coaching, listen very carefully. Goalkeeper, stop the bloody ball from going between the 2 posts and the crossbar. Full-backs defend. Centre halves, head the ball, preferably away from my goal. Midfield players pass the ball, and if you can't fucking pass it, give it to somebody who can. Wide players, get your ball, use your dribbling skills, your pace, go past the defenders, cross the ball for my centre forwards to score me a goal. That's coaching. Don't bloody ask me ever again. And by the way, get your hair cut.
Apart from the role of you were doing youth development, but I understand eventually you got made chief scout, and I understand you were involved in signing some of Forest's greatest ever players. Can you tell us 1 or 2 stories from the signings you made, how you got the players to the club, and by all means mention 1 or 2 names?
Stuart Pearce, he went to bad signing. I went to watch Villa play Coventry at the old Highfield Road, and this full-back, he was outstanding, absolutely outstanding. And I went into the office on Monday and I said, Gaffer, I think I found us a left back. About fucking time. Excuse me swearing, but I've got about left time. So, what's his name? Pearce. Who's he play for? Coventry. How old is he? 21. Where's he come from? Wilston. When's he playing next? He's playing at Newcastle on Wednesday. We're going. So, off we went to Newcastle on the Wednesday. I was driving, and he sat having a drink in the passenger seat. Got up to Newcastle, treated like a king. He was everywhere he went, and deserved it as well. Brilliant manager. The game started. Pearcey put their winger on the track twice, hit the crossbar, free kick hit the crossbar, and the arm comes across, squeezed my leg. Son, you found me a left back. So on the way back, he never mentioned it until we got on the outskirts of Nottingham. Find out if the left back would like to play for me. I said, how am I going to do that? He said, that's for you to find out. He says, and while you're at it, find out if he's got any vices. What do you mean? He said, does he drink? Does he smoke? Is he a gambler? Is he a womanizer? He says, why do you want to know that? He says, because if he's got no vices, he's no fucking good. So we went down to they were playing at Coventry the following Saturday against Everton. So I'm there in the street, flat cap, sheepskin coat, autograph book. I thought, this is going to do it. So Pearcey's walking, because they used to park the cars outside at Highfield Road in them days. Pearcey's walking up, and I went, can I have your autograph please, Stuart? He says, yeah, no problem, pal. I said, how would you like to play for Forest? He went, who the fuck are you? I said, I'm the chief scout. He said, I'd love to play for Forest. I said, well, put your telephone number there. So that was contact made. Went in to watch the game. Didn't bother going down at half time, like you lads today. Got talking to two supporters and said, fullback looks a decent, he's a good lad, he's a good lad. Got him from Wealdstone. Bobby Gould signed him. I said, all right. He said, a bit of a lad though. He said, he likes a bet. And he's a womaniser. You know, he must be a good player then. Anyway, it turned out that he was a good player. We signed him and we paid 250,000 for him. And we also bought their centre half like over to him. So we got two great players for 350,000.
That's a great one. That's one of the best players ever. Go on. Yeah.
One more. Brian used to support the miners. In the miners' strike in 82, 83. He was a big Labour man. And every Friday at the City Ground, he would entertain the miners' families. Give them tickets, give them food, everything. This particular Friday, the miners' leader said, Brian, we're doing a march through West Bridgeford past Kenneth Clark's office. That's the Conservative candidate in Nottingham. Would you lead the march? He says, I'll do that with pleasure. And Illy, you're coming with me. We've got to be there for 10 o'clock on the Friday. We get to West Bridgeford, there's a band there, the banners are up, and the band starts playing, and we start marching down the road. This voice in the crowd shouts, Cluffy, lend us a fiver. He spins around, he said, young man, never a borrower or a lender be, William Shakespeare. This kid shouts, Cluffy, fuck off, he hates Lawrence. He says, come here, you young bugger, Alan, give him a fiver.
Brilliant, Alan. We've just got time for one more story before kick-off. Can you tell us about another big signing you made? I've seen the signings you're involved with. Have you got your list? He was just showing me earlier some of the signings that Alan was involved with. Is absolutely incredible. Oops, sorry. Go on. Let's just have a quick look through them. These
are kids who we signed at 15.
Oh dear. Keane. Oh no. Yeah, Woods, Stone, Walker, Hodge, Carr, Mills, Chettle, Starbuck, Charles, Crossley, Gemmell, Walsh, Glover, Wone, Wilson, Fairclough, Sutton. Is there any big stories with any of those? Who was the most difficult to get? You had to really go.
They were all easy actually because they wanted to play for the Gaffer.
Yeah.
They were all easy. We were lucky. This one's a bit long really, the Keane one. But
go on. We've got time for one more. Roy Keane story.
Roy Keane. We used to have a postman that was a scout and travel around Southern Ireland on a Lambretta. And he rang us up one day and he said, I've got 3 players I'd like you to look at. Can I bring them over? So I said, by all means. So we brought him over. The weather was horrendous. We couldn't train anywhere. There was no indoor facilities in them days. So we had to send them back. And we said, we'll get you back over when the weather's better. So 2 weeks later, we brought him back over, but only Keeney came. The other 2 couldn't come. So we played him in a match at Tranmere, outstanding. He was outstanding. We played him then in another behind closed doors match, outstanding again. Cluffy hadn't seen him at all. And we said to the gaffer, look, we found this player. He's going to be some player. He's only 18. He's from Southern Ireland. And I think we should sign him. He said, well, if you think we should sign him, sign him. You hadn't seen him, by the way. A little lad called Liam O'Kane, who was at Forest 30 odd years, lovely lad. He was part of it all. And we took him to Barcelona. Holland, and we played Barcelona in a tournament, and we got to the final. And we beat Barcelona in the final. Absolutely outstanding, Keane was. So, went back, told him, got to sign him. The gaffer said, get the chairman over. So we got the chairman over. We agreed 150,000 for Roy Keane, plus a match. We'd take the players over and play a match. And the chairman was more bothered about Cluffy signing a bottle of whiskey than he was the 150,000. So we brought him over. The gaffer hadn't seen him play. The season had started. And we got a friendly at Sutton Town, up in the Mansfield area. And we said, Cluffy said, pick me up at Sandy Acre. Is the Irishman playing? I said, I don't know. He said, well, bloody fine now. So I went into we got to the ground, went in the dressing room. He weren't playing, he was sub. Went back to him, he said, is he playing? I said, no, he's sub. Who's in his place? I said, young Gemmell, young Scott Gemmell. Oh, is he? Right. So the game started, half time. He said, tell that shithouse Gemmell to get his son off the pitch. Didn't happen. The game started. He said, he's not done it, has he? I said, no. He did no more. He jumped over the fence. Referee, stop the game. And Brian Saunders, the referee, shit himself. Dropped the whistle. Young Gemmell, get off. Irishman, get on. Never said a word. 2 days later, they're playing at a place called Arnold in this area, and Cluffy was at the game. Never said a word at all about the lad. The season started. They played Southampton on the Saturday afternoon, and then they'd got a game against Liverpool on the Wednesday. Never said anything. The Liam came round and he said, Steve Hodges gone down with flu. Can you send another player? And it was a time when Brian wasn't travelling with the team. We were going up on the day of the match. Who we got? I said, we got Starbuck and Keane, the Irishman. Right, we'll take them both. Went up to Adoc Thistle, that's where the players were staying. Went into the main foyer, and Keane is going out with Liam, myself, and Archie Gemmell to put the kit out at Anfield. Put the kit out, came back, never said a word to Keane. Went in the dressing room before the match, the lads are coming in. Said, gentlemen, this young man is making his debut today. And that was Keane being told he's making his debut for Forest at Anfield. Nobody else had spoke to him about anything. And he said, son, go out and enjoy it. And he never looked back, he never played in the reserves ever again. He was always in the first team. Fantastic player, and that's how we signed him.